Let's go! All right, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers, back with another episode of Zaya&TheSteelers. We are finally back. It is finally Sunday leading into Monday, and it is finally time to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. First, as we always do, let's go into the review of last episode's performance. So, we are up to 33 subscribers, which I believe is up from 24, if I'm not mistaken, if this wants to work with me. Yeah, I believe it's up from 24 from the last episode, so thank you guys again. 158 views on this bad boy. Solid. We've been doing good on the viewage department, this being a new channel and stuff. We've been starting to get the average views up, so that's, solid. And once again, 33 subscribers, up from 24. Thank you guys. But really, without further ado, you see the topics at the top. We're going to be talking about Georgepickens. We're going to be talking about Kendrick Green. And we're going to be talking about Minkah and TJ Watt. Not for anything too crazy, but it's really more of a highlight on Minkah that I want to talk about. I really want to talk about Minkah in like the highest of standards. And we're using TJ as kind of like an example, because we love TJ Watt, and TJ Watt gets talked about amazingly by everybody, right? Everybody loves TJ. And so, with that said, I think Minkah can deserve that same love too. And does he get it? He probably does already get it. But I want to double down and I want to triple down on the importance of Minkah on the team. And also, we're going to have a bunch of training camp footage. I didn't get that in as like a main topic, but with it happening, like that's really, all we do have to go on. And there is a bunch of footage to go around. And so we're going to get to that too. But really, what I wanted to start with was something that I wanted to make a video of it as it happened. But I just didn't get around to it. And so at this point in life, might be a little old to you, but this is the first time the Zaya&TheSteelers channel is reacting to this catch, to this play. I have seen this play. You have seen this play most likely. But us together on the Zaya&TheSteelers YouTube, we're blind. We have no idea what's about to happen. And so I'm going to play this and we're going to see what happens. It looks like Kenny Pickett's dropping back. He's dropping back. We got Georgepickens and Joey Porter Jr., and an absolutely insane catch. Take the ball back, Joey. We got to run it back one more time. Run it back. We might even have to get the sound on this one. We're getting the sound on this one because we got to hear the crowd, man. This is absolutely insanity. Shout out to the WWE shirt from this guy. SummerSlam was on last night. But yeah, absolutely insane catch. One more time, and then we will break it down or whatever. Just absolutely monstrous catch right here from Georgepickens. Just insane, and then hands him the ball back. And, it's all competition. It's all good fun. Joey Porter Jr. throwing the ball back at Georgepickens. Just an absolutely insane catch. And then here comes Deontay leading the charge. We got Mitch and maybe Calvin Austin. Did Mitch throw the ball? Why is Mitch on that? Did Mitch throw that? No, this is Kenny. Mitch is here. This is Mitchell Trubisky, guys. Once again, you hit the zoom in, pinch to zoom riz on your phone. If you're using the computer, just big truz. Mitchell Trubisky is right here. Mitchell Trubisky has absolutely nothing to do with this, right? So this is the first part that we're breaking down. Okay, Georgepickens gets the ball. He makes the catch, right? Solid catch. Hands it back. Throws the ball back at him, right? And Mitch is coming all the way down the field to congratulate this guy. Mitch, who didn't even throw the pass, is coming all the way down the field to be like, George, you monster. And we got Calvin Austin. We got Deontay. Maybe, I don't know, that's maybe a coach. And then, of course, Kenny ends up coming down there. Just absolutely monstrous catch by Georgepickens. And we're going to talk about this later. But the camaraderie, is that the word? Camaraderie? Between the position groups and between the players seems at like an all-time high this year. It seems all the vibe levels are high. We're all, looking to make our impact, all looking to make a splash play for the team. And I don't know, this is a first. This is definitely a first. Last season maybe was, obviously transitioning out of Big Ben. But still a lot of old factors from the old regime, old Big Ben regime. And, we ended up running a lot of the same shit and doing a lot of the same shit that we were doing with Ben on the team. And so it's like it wasn't a reset. Culturally and all that, it's a reset in the locker room. But in terms of on the field, it kind of seemed like business as usual, honestly, compared to Ben's last year, and then last year the season in general with Kenny and Mitch as quarterback. It seemed like, much similar to Ben's last year's, but this offseason, this training camp, this development, but with players' relationships and stuff like that, this all seems relatively new. At least from my point of view on it, my understanding of it. One more time, we're gonna watch this catch because we just have to, man. We just have to. Audio listeners, I apologize if that is the loudest thing in the world. But I mean, Georgepickens is a dog, man. And shout out to everybody coming to his support. We'll talk about this in a little bit more. It's really more about Deontay Johnson. Deontay and Georgepickens seem to have gotten a really close relationship, and so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, monstrous catch by Georgepickens. I don't even know what else to say, man. Amazing catch. And of course, we're gonna get to a different Georgepickens catch in a little bit. But I also wanted to show off to some of these other things that are coming out from training camp. Randy Moss just told Sirius FM that Georgepickens is the best young receiver to enter the National Football League in the past 15 years. It's not even close. Every owner in the NFL should be pissed at whoever overlooked this guy multiple times. Randy Moss, Sirius FM. Listen, I don't know if this is a real quote. This could be completely fake. This can be completely made up by Shamifberg. But, I mean, doesn't it seem believable, though? Doesn't Georgepickens seem like the best young receiver to enter the National Football League in the past 15 years? Doesn't he just seem like that, I don't know. But now, let's look at another play. Actually, let me get rid of this. Let's look at another play. Here we got Friday Night Lights. Kenny Pickett and Georgepickens are going to be a special duo. Here we go. Kenny, I really wanted the audio off. Kenny rolling out. I think we showed this off in the last video maybe, but finding Georgepickens in the back of the end zone. I feel like Kenny had a play like this in the last video I did. But yeah, find Georgepickens in the back of the end zone. It's cool. The movement is cool to see. And then also something special that we're going to be talking about in a little bit. There's so many thoughts in my head right now, but something special we're going to talk about in a little bit is Georgepickens' ability, his route running, and how it's expanded, and how the team itself are doing more middle of the field plays, and more kind of cross route plays. And so on this play, you can see Georgepickens isn't on this side of the field, but eventually he works his way to the right side of the field as Kenny rolls to the right, and of course, we're in the red zone, so there's going to be a lot of, movement and things like that, and kind of shortish routes and kind of free reins to just kind of get open. And so, that's going to happen. But overall, in general, it has been shown that we're running more plays in the middle of the field. And Georgepickens specifically is running more routes that aren't just run down the field straight. We're running the whole route tree this year, which is cool. And then also, I noticed this as, I was playing the video. 55 right here. This is Cole Holcomb. And Cole Holcomb has been pretty good from what I've seen in the run department. I've heard good things about Cole Holcomb. I've heard all right things about Mark Robinson. I haven't heard the only positive things about Mark Robinson. I haven't heard that, but I have heard positive things about him. I've heard positive things about Cole Holcomb. I've heard positive things about Layden Roberts. And I've heard positive things about our newest acquisition, Quan Alexander. But I'm saying that now because there is documented history, there is documented proof, there is documented past episodes of me saying, maybe middle linebacker on our team isn't, the strongest suit. And so when good things happen, when the good things are happening, I want to make sure I convey it to you guys. So that way it's not just like, man, I hate Cole Holcomb, and man, I hate Layden Roberts, So I just wanted to get that out there. Anyway, Cole Holcomb, it reminded me he rushes the passer. Kenny absolutely jukes him out of his shoes. I didn't know that was going to happen. He didn't really juke him, but he's on the ground. Kenny, he's just like that. He's an athlete, and then makes the throw on the run, back of the end zone. Who is that? I don't know if that's Corey Trice, but we will talk about Corey Trice in a second, later on in the video. Is that 29? Is that 20? I can't see who that is. Maybe it's even Joey Porter Jr., but we know Georgepickens. He makes the play. I still can't tell if that's Joey Porter Jr. as Georgepickens with the celebration. This is a live reaction too. That's funny. It looked like whoever it was calling for some kind of penalty. You can see he's pointing. He wants the ref to throw the flag. I don't know. But definitely a solid play right there out of Georgepickens. Should I start full screening these? I don't know. And then now we got another Georgepickens is just unreal. They're going to try to play the audio, but I don't want them to play the audio. Kenny Pickett, find in the back of the end zone, finds Georgepickens back there. And that, I believe, is Corey Trice. And that, I believe, is a touchdown. And I wanted to bring this up on the first catch, and I will bring this up on the first catch. I'll go back to it. Let me actually try to pause it, and maybe we can point in the end zone here, if we can see if this is a catch. There's that right foot is down. That right foot is down. That left foot could be down too. Oh, yeah, this is 100% a touchdown. This frame right here, yo, Steelers. Referees, camera operators, everybody. You know, there's no reason for these replays to be taking 20 minutes on primetime football at 10 p.m. and I got to go to work tomorrow. We just figured this out in 3 seconds, live on the fly with all the pressure of the audience watching me. We just figured it out, no editing. This is a catch. Boom. Just like that. That's a catch. Confirmed. 6 points for the Steelers, and let's get out of here. You know, I wish they could be that fast in real life, but it is what it is. But this is a catch. Back of the end zone. Let's play the full play again. Shout out to Georgepickens. I believe this is 29 again. Is Corey Trice 29? I should really get that confirmed before I keep saying it. But 29, it seems like Georgepickens is kind of getting after in practice. But yeah, solid catch out of Georgepickens. And then also, what I wanted to bring up was on this play, the back to the original catch. Something Georgepickens has done. It is pretty good at is the physicality of it all, right? And we can see right here, they're already kind of holding each other at the line of scrimmage. We all know once you get past like 5-ish yards, you got to kind of let go. And so we can see, I forget it's 5 to 10 yards, something like that. You got to kind of let go, but you're allowed to hold at the line, especially in one-on-ones. I don't know how serious or not serious, but how referees throwing flags and shit. I don't know how seriously you take that in one-on-ones, but in IRL you're allowed to do this. So like this right here isn't the craziest. Maybe a little far down the field, cool. But as of right here, they break it up, so it is what it is. They break up, right? And they're just running. And say what you want about Georgepickens. Say this is a PI. Say this is blah 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 blah. I'd love to see a Georgepickens catch without a pass interference. Blah 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 blah. Say whatever you want, right? If he's playing against your team, you can do all that pass interference bullshit, right? But
we do not care.
Because Georgepickens is a Pittsburgh Steeler. And so what I see from this is I see the veteran ability, the veteran wherewithal, the using the reach to your advantage, using the athletic gifts to your advantage. Play it as he gives him, a slight push, a little push, get behind me. But he's looking for the ball. Georgepickens is another thing that Georgepickens does very well. Is Georgepickens can find the ball, he can spot the ball in the air, and really, because of his physical abilities and because of the fact that he maybe, just maybe, let me know, is this pass interference? Because of the fact that he can kind of get away with this shit, he's able to make plays. And so, just like that, I'll try to get back to the point where we were, but just like that, as you can see, 3 seconds into it, they're stride for stride, and then in a matter of a second, Georgepickens is now in front of Joey Porter Jr. as he is fully turned around, and Georgepickens is turned the right way at the ball to make a play on the ball. And so right here, like if you just see this frame right here, you maybe think the ball is a little high, maybe he can't get it. But from this frame right here, it looks like Georgepickens should be able to make a play on this ball and should be able to make this catch. We just so happen to get one of the greatest catches ever. But you can see from the equation, you can see from the work shown that this is likely going to be a catch anyway because of the physical traits, because of the veteran instincts of second year player Georgepickens on rookie Joey Porter Jr. And George is always been big on this kind of hand fighting, kind of pushing off kind of thing. But I love it. I love to see these abilities, and this is something that I think is not unique with Georgepickens because receivers do this all the time. But when you're watching Georgepickens, kind of a newish receiver on the team, I'll compare it to this. I'll say it to this. Newish receiver on the team who was also tall. We had one of those in Chase Claypool, right? And Chase Claypool, had that great rookie year. But when we're talking about making plays down the field and just, what is it, intangibles maybe is the word? I don't know. But when we're talking about, these are two different routes. These are two different styles of trying to get the ball. If this is Chase Claypool, probably an incompletion. Probably they just go stride for stride and Chase Claypool falls over. But Georgepickens, he is able to use his reach, push him a little behind him, turn around, turn around the right way, track the ball in the air, and then catch it with one hand. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So this is what I mean. Like, Georgepickens, we've been saying Georgepickens is good, right? We've been saying Georgepickens is someone we can look forward to building around, someone we can work with, a good piece to have on an offense, blah, 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 blah. But what if Georgepickens is the piece? What if Georgepickens is the reason why our offense becomes, the best offense ever? What if Georgepickens, dare I say it, because the ramifications with coming from this statement, man, there is a lot of off the field stuff that goes into this. So I'm just gonna ignore that. But what if Georgepickens is the next Antonio Brown, the football player, and not the person off the football field? What if though? But what if? Like I'm telling you, these abilities, these intangibles, like this is something we see from an Antonio Brown kind of player. This is something we see from like a DeAndre Hopkins kind of player, like a who else is like Cooper Kupp, I guess. I don't know why I said Cooper Kupp and not some other names first, but Jamar Chase, even like this Justin Jefferson. I don't know why I couldn't think of receivers for a second. But some of the Devontae Adams, some of the premier receivers in the league, they all do this. They all do the push off. Every good receiver in the league all pushes off, right? Justin Jefferson specifically, he's a big pusher offer, right? He's a big get himself space. And this ability to get yourself space in the open field, in one-on-one, but in live action too, we've seen Georgepickens do this. Like this ability, the intangibles to do this, to track the ball. This is all something that like every receiver doesn't have. You would think every receiver can get open and find the ball and make this play. The one-handed catch is a bit insane, but you would think every player can find the ball, turn around, and make the the right body adjustments to make the catch. No. Like this doesn't happen. This is special, which is why I'm keep harping onto this. Just be aware, guys. That's it. Be aware. Definitely be aware. I think he's gonna have a monster year 2 upcoming, especially with the improvements in the quarterback department, improvements on the offense as a whole. I think he's gonna have a special year 2. And so I just wanted to re-show that catch because I wanted to show the hand fighting ability. And then same thing, we will show it here. I'm sure there's like a little bit of a not even, he didn't even really touch him, but hold on. You can see he has this arm out. He has the arm out. You can see it. He has the arm out ready to kind of battle while also making the catch. Like, here's my hand. He has his other hand, like, while, like, like, this is crazy, bro. I don't know. Maybe I'm going too hard into this. Maybe I'm just too excited. I love recording the Zaya&TheSteelers. Maybe I'm just too excited. But this is what I mean. This is the ability that he has. And granted, on this play specifically, it wasn't really like he needed to. It wasn't really like he needed to make the space because, as you can see right here, excellent route development, excellent. Oh my God! Do you see this cut from Allen Robinson? Allen Robinson on a dime. Look at the. We're gonna really break this down real quick because look at the space that's being able to be made. Let me get it back from the beginning. So we got Georgepickens, Allen Robinson, maybe, and 15. I don't know. Maybe is this Allen Robinson? I don't know who's 15. I'm sleeping. I don't know who 15 is, man. But let me know. But we do have Georgepickens, Allen Robinson. And I believe that's Darnell Washington over there. I haven't mentioned Darnell in a little bit, but here he is going out for a pass, right? And then we can see we have linebackers as fuck right here. And then we got safety, and then we got some corners right here. And we're all kind of conjoined together. This is all kind of get together. We're in the red zone. We're in short field opportunities. So everyone's kind of packed together, right? So getting space and getting open in the red zone is pretty tough because everybody's right there. The defense is right there. Like, maybe you hit this back spot. There's room back here, but the safety's right here. He goes back. It is what it is. Anyway, though, in order for this play to develop, Allen Robinson needed to have the cut of his life just now. And I'm sleeping. I haven't really watched Allen Robinson play. But I was defending Allen Robinson against some haters. If you guys have been watching the episodes, like, there's been some Allen Robinson hate, and I'm just trying to figure out why. So this is for the Allen Robinson hate. Allen Robinson taken, just absolutely taken, man's what he takes him with him. 34, he's in a zone. He's looking to cover more of the middle of the field. I think. All right, so 34, who is new, Terrell Edmonds, by the way. 34 is tracking Allen Robinson. He sees Allen Robinson about to make this cut. Guys, I'm sorry. He sees Allen Robinson about to make this cut. 34 is looking at him. So this is man. He's on Allen Robinson. And then 50, I believe, is this middle is right here is his zone anyway. So like he kind of has to stay here anyway. And so Allen Robinson takes both of them. He takes both of them out, right? And you can see where Kenny is throwing this. I think he's off the screen when he throws this, but he throws this relatively early to when George Pickens is actually open. Like he sees Allen Robinson cut here. He sees 34. As soon as he sees 34 coming to get off of George Pickens to get to Allen Robinson, this is when the ball comes out. This is when the ball is coming out. So 34, he goes to get Allen Robinson, and the ball's already out because Kenny knows that now it is George Pickens and Corey Trice, maybe 29, somebody over the top. But he knows that it's a one-on-one with someone who is likely shorter than George Pickens, because who isn't shorter than George Pickens? I promise that. See, this is all going to make sense. All back to the George Pickens. So Allen Robinson, he takes 34 and the linebacker with him. Kenny Pickett recognizes that. He knows it's going to be one-on-one in the back of the end zone. He lets it fly, and George Pickens gets the ultimate separation, the ultimate toes down, the ultimate touchdown. That is 6 points. And ladies and gentlemen, was that a Matt Canada masterpiece? This is insane. Hold on, I just seen this too. This is insane. Why are we marking Allen Robinson like this after making the play, after fooling you, after literally causing this touchdown? Why are we doing this? 34, you see 34, he's trying to get back to Allen Robinson, but he's already on the ground. Like 34, you're fucked. 34, I don't know who you're fucked. Yep, he's got to turn around now. 34, is that KZ? Is 34 KZ now? I think 34, or KZ is 23. 34, I don't know who it is. I'm really not trying to roast you that bad, but it's more of like the whole development of the play here. This is really cool, and especially because I was able to recognize this kind of on the fly. This is really cool. It's really cool to see this like development before the season actually starts, because who knows, maybe there will be a play where this actually works out in the actual season, you know. But once again, finding George Pickens in the back of the end zone. Allen Robinson, shout out to this cut, Allen Robinson. This was a fantastic cut. I have seen too from Nick Farba. I don't think I actually have the tweet liked, and we'll show it on the screen, but he said something about Allen Robinson maybe down the field, like not really being a biggest factor anymore, like just, you know, with regression, just not really being able to separate that far down the field. But in short space, in red zone opportunities, in short yardage situations, we can see this guy can still make the hard cuts. He can still be quick. He can still completely fool 34 and this linebacker. This linebacker, bro, this is insane. Is this PI? This is a penalty, right? Like, you can't just. Does he think there might have been a pump fake, maybe because Kenny's. I don't know if you can just murk him like this, but hey, man, it worked. So shout out to Kenny Pickett. Shout out to George Pickens. And then lastly on the George Pickens topic, because we're gonna talk about this. We all remember this play against the Cleveland Browns, week 2, I believe. We all remember this catch by George Pickens. This was like the coming out moment for George Pickens. This was like the welcome to the NFL moment. After this, he really became a household name for the rest of the people. We as Steelers fans, we were already hype about George Pickens holding. We were already hype about George Pickens, but this is where like the rest of the league kind of got put on, you know. And right there too, you can see the veteran move. The veteran instincts of George Pickens. I wanted to show this again. Just a little right here in this angle, it's not really as apparent, but you see it a little before the catch. You can see the kind of hand fighting that they do, and then George Pickens using his right arm, you know, slightly get out of the way. I need some space, you know, kind of developing some space right there. Needed to make the catch, and then makes a fantastic catch, right? So shout out to George Pickens. Shh, everyone has to be quiet. Shout out to George Pickens and Jaylen Warren. He that was a nice little hole there. You see the hole that was developed? I know we lost this game, but shit, there's a nice little hole that was developed. I mean, he's right there. Never mind. He's right there. Never mind. Anyway though, Naj, run through that. And this is what we be telling Naj. I know this is Jaylen Warren on the field, but we literally tell Naj, right? Like, we gave you a hole. Run through this game. You run through this guy, like you're taking it to the house. Run through him. That's what we said. Anyway though. I said all that to say, like, I bring up the George Pickens thing. I bring up him being special. I bring up should we be aware? Because this is a topic that at the end of the season last year was kind of weighing on me. And, you know, I thought it was at least worth a discussion. And so, as we all know, last year's Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson, wide receiver from the Ohio State I was gonna say where George Pickens went, but he also went to Georgia, which is red too. But yeah, he went to Ohio State. Garrett Wilson. He is somebody who with a lot of hype, a lot of praise on him, a lot of expectations set on him for this upcoming year. And with that said, for good reason, Garrett Wilson is he's a pretty good receiver. He's a great receiver. I'll say he's a great receiver already in year one. And so we look at his stats from last year: 147 targets, 83 receptions, 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards, 4 touchdowns, average of 13 yards per catch. Pretty good numbers, right? And this is rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year numbers, right? And the Jets, they had a pretty different situation than us. However, I think their offense was kind of garbage last year. They beat us, right? They beat us, and it is what it is. But I mean, I don't think their offense was anything to write home about. So like, that's not really a different situation. And then in terms of their receivers, I don't think they have a Deontay Johnson to Garrett Wilson on the Jets. At least, just quick off in my mind real quick. Like, I don't think the Jets have. At least now, I don't think the Jets had a super duper, crazy receiver back then. And this is from the freaking Jets game before. Never mind. From the Browns game before. I wanted to see the box score I wanted to see the Jets box score just to see some other receivers. But I'm just gonna trust my football knowledge. I don't think the Jets had like anybody other than Garrett Wilson that was insane. Like, we got to throw the ball to. They had Elijah Moore. I almost forgot about Elijah Moore. But he's now on the Cleveland Browns, and he got traded in the middle of the season last year. I don't know. They did have Elijah Moore, though, so there. I guess you throw that in with Garrett Wilson. He's splitting snaps with him. And then also maybe Corey Davis was there. So it is what it is. But all that to say, I don't think the difference between his situation and George Pickett's situation, just on the surface, is that different, right? But we do know that our offense last year was like historically bad. And we do know that we could not find a touchdown to save our fucking lives last year. And granted, maybe the Jets went through that too. I know their offense is bad. I was saying their offense is probably comparable to ours. But I just want to show you, like, the hype that Garrett Wilson has been getting from people around the league as a whole, is kind of high. It's high, right? And I'm just trying to be objective here because I know we as Steelers fans, I know we love George Pickens. And I know we love to hype George Pickens, right? But objectively, I don't think George Pickens is that far off of Garrett Wilson. And I think if things go a little different last year, I think we're talking about George Pickens in the same way we're talking about Garrett Wilson from the NFL media as a whole, and not just Steelers fans. Because Steelers fans, we're hyping George Pickens. We know George Pickens is a dog. We know George Pickens is probably the best receiver in the league right now. And so we know that already. But the rest of the league doesn't. But the rest of the league, they know that Garrett Wilson is the rookie of the year, and they know that Garrett Wilson is the upcoming wide receiver star, right? And so I say all that to say, 1,000 yards, 83 receptions, 147 targets, 4 touchdowns, right? George Pickens numbers. Same season last year. 4 touchdowns, 800 yards, 84 targets, and 52 receptions. So we can see already, let me get rid of this. Already, the receptions is different and the targets is way, we're talking 40, 60 more targets damn near. We're talking about 60 more targets damn near than George Pickens. And then, was that 300 more yards on 60 more targets? 300 and more yards on 60 more targets is what we're talking about. And look at me box score watching. Listen, guys. You can have your opinions on Garrett Wilson versus George Pickens. But listen, I'm a Steelers fan, and this is BS that we're talking about Garrett Wilson in a way, and we're not talking about George Pickens in that way. That's it. This is all what it's about, because I just want to show that, like, they're not that far off, and Garrett Wilson was getting all this press, all this praise, and granted, he's a great receiver. But I'm relaying it to Steelers fans that, guys, listen, like, he just had rookie of the year, and George Pickens wasn't that far off. And George Pickens, if we weren't a literal stationary rock on offense for the first 10 weeks of the year last year, things could have been way different. And so now imagine coming into this season thinking we have the offensive rookie of the year to be building on, and not just, George Pickens, who had a solid rookie year. We have the offensive rookie of the year on our team. We don't technically, but we have pretty close to me. So these numbers, like I've been saying, I think are relatively close. When we talk about Deontay Johnson also being on the team and getting targets, versus on the Jets, I don't know, Elijah Moore maybe, Corey Davis maybe getting targets on the Jets. I think it's a little different. And then when we look at 60 less targets, like that's not even like, I mean, I guess you can kind of count separation and all this shit that gets into it. And Garrett Wilson, I'm pretty sure probably is better at getting separation than George Pickens. But I mean, 60 more targets, like there's no way 60 times Kenny Pickett looked at George Pickens. It was like, oh, he's not open. That means probably a good 30 to 40 times George Pickens wasn't even thought about on plays, wasn't even the read, wasn't even the option to go to, versus Garrett Wilson was the option to go to on his team. Different situation slightly, granted, you get it, but it's not that crazy. That's it. It's not that crazy. And Steelers fans, we might have the rookie of the year coming in this season. We know it was Garrett Wilson technically, but I think George Pickens should have been the rookie of the year, and I think George Pickens is the upcoming wide receiver rookie. And we got him in the second round, man, because we are just like that. We are just great at finding these receivers. And now, with all of that said, I leave it with this. I really hope that George Pickens just continues to get better. I really hope that as he gets better, he gets the contract with us. Because look at me, I'm already thinking 4 or 5 years in the future, because all these players have left us and we've all been heartbroken, and I've had my heart ripped out. And so I'm just hoping that we pay him what he wants. He asks for, I guess, realistic money. Realistic money, by that could even be highest paid receiver in the league money if we have it at the time. When I say realistic, I just mean realistic as to what we can give him and what he is worth. Like, I just don't want him to not be, number one guy and then want number one guy money, and then we don't pay him number one guy money and now we're the bad guy. Like, I don't want that to happen. But I also don't want him to be number one guy and then asking for number one guy money, and then the Steelers are like, we won 4 Super Bowls in the 1970s, so we're not going to re-sign George Pickens in 2023, or in 2020, whatever, because we won 4 Super Bowls in the 70s. That's what I don't want to happen. I really don't want that to happen. That has happened before, and granted, a lot of the times the Steelers do be spitting. A lot of the times, they are right, and all this boring regime is right. But listen, look at what this guy is doing. And also, you know what? Fuck it. I forgot to mention this. We'll do it now. Good rep out of Joey Porter Jr. But yeah, look what George Pickens is doing. I hope we can keep him. I hope he's a Steeler for life. I hope he continues to get better. I hope he proves that he is better than Garrett Wilson. I hope that he proves that he is better than all of these second-year receivers. And I hope that he proves that he is today, this very moment in time, I hope that he proves that he is a top 10 to 5 receiver in the NFL as a whole. And like I mentioned, I did want to show Joey Porter Jr. some love on this play. I know we were freaking going crazy about George Pickens for like half an hour just now, but this was a good rep out of Joey Porter Jr. as a rookie, his second year in the league. George Pickens damn near cheated just now. He damn near pass interfered. You can say what you want, but this is damn near cheating. And he gets turned around, which, granted, by George Pickens, like damn near cheating. This is a solid rep. Like, he is as close as can be, even gets backwards. Listen, we talked about George Pickens. Let me get a gunshot for Joey Porter Jr., our newest rookie, our second-round pick, someone to be hype about. Look at him playing the ball backwards. He's playing this ball guys, like, this is insane. He still is able to make a play on this. And hand, you can see his hand, and George Pickens, like this, if he swats, he might be able to get it. But George Pickens, he's just so fast. And, like, he's so fast, I can't even replay it frame by frame. But he's able to secure it in his other hand before Joey Porter can get his left arm down like 2 inches to hit the ball out. The ball is already in the other hand. But this right here, a tremendous rep by George Pickens and Joey Porter Jr. in general. As I slow-mo it, oh my God, the slow motion is crazy. Do you see that? Oh my God. Do you see this shit? How fast George Pickens is able to do that versus Joey Porter Jr. smacking it. Then the angle, of course, isn't just straight down. I know. But this is crazy. This is insanity. And Joey Porter Jr., man, great rep out of you. Great rep out of Joey Porter Jr. Absolutely insane. And I did want to bring up Joey Porter Jr. because he did play, that was good. And he's been on Pickens apparently a lot. And look at this guy. He's hype. He's been on Pickens apparently a lot. And, corners, it's a live and die. It's the highest of highs and lowest of lows. And so he's been playing good. I really wanted to highlight that. Now what I want to get into is kind of a mini topic, but something that I wasn't expecting and really something that we should all be hype about. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Kendrick Green is playing fullback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, ladies and gentlemen. So he's not a guard. He's not a center. But, ladies and gentlemen, this dude, wait, where's the play? Oh, here we go. This dude is a fullback. So we're going to play this play. There's a bunch of these plays throughout the camp session, but this I thought was hilarious. So as you can see, Kendrick Green, if you guys don't know, he's been our backup / starting center at one point, and then he's been a backup / starting guard at one point. And now he really hasn't been playing the best at either of those positions. And now two or 3 years into his career, Steelers fans, we're kind of fed up. We're kind of fed up over the pick. We're kind of fed up with number 53, who's not Marquise Pouncey. But, and I've mentioned that in past episodes, but the Steelers might have cooked. And Vince Williams, I brought this up too. Vince Williams called this. I don't think I have the tweet, but I will find it for you, Vince, because Vince called this like 4 months ago. We throw Kendrick Green at fullback, and ladies and gentlemen, just watch. This is Kendrick Green, by the way. Here's him right here, all the way on the right, in motion. Absolutely laying the wood down on, I don't know who that is, but just absolutely crushes them. Maybe is what's his name? Quan Alexander. Maybe is Eladen Roberts. I don't know. But once again, we're running this back for Kendrick Green. Ladies and gentlemen, laying the truck stick. And then Jaylen Warren able to bounce out, get an extra few yards. Listen. I know that I'm a king of listen, man. But this right here might be the biggest listen, man, to ever happen on Zaya and the Steelers. Listen, man. If Kendrick Green can do this all year, if Kendrick Green finds success playing fullback for us, if Kendrick Green can find his way onto the roster, onto the team as a starter in this league, as a player in this league for the Steelers after 2 years of us just absolutely murking him, after 2 years of him playing bad football, after 2 years of us hating the guy, if he's back at fullback and this is it, ladies and gentlemen, hats off, claps all around to Kendrick Green for staying in it, going with the flow, doing whatever it takes to play. Because this is the thing. Kendrick Green, it's not like we were just picking fucking names out of a hat here, like, oh, we're going to take Kendrick Green, center, we weren't doing, it's not like we were doing that. No, this guy has tremendous athletic ability for the position, for how big he is. He has he has tremendous athletic ability for his position and for his weight. And so the idea was for him to be a center or pulling guard on runs, because he can pull from the left all the way to the right side and kind of help out. In the departments. Now, the actual blocking portion of it all, it didn't end up working out. The standing in front of somebody and holding your ground, that portion is not working out for Kendrick Green, right? We know that. However, this little shit that we got going on where we put the fullback in motion and he gets a running start to go lay somebody out, Kendrick Green, it's like, thinking about it, he was built for this. This is like the smartest shit ever. This is literally the best thing since sliced bread. Like, it makes perfect sense. This is one of those things like, oh, we should have been doing this. Like, shout out to Derek Watt, but we should have been had Kendrick Green out there. And I don't know if you guys remember, and Vince Williams, I think, even brought this up, but if you guys remember Roosevelt Nix, number 45 for us when we had Le'Veon running, he was solid. We loved Roosevelt Nix. And Roosevelt Nix, he did a lot of good things for us. And fullback, the fullback position itself, when we think about we've been a successful team, when we've been able to get these wins, hasn't there always been a Rosie Nix lay in the wood? Hasn't there always been a Derek Watt lay in the wood? Hasn't there always been a Kendrick Green laying the wood down? Like, hasn't that always happened? I'm going to run the play one more time. That's always happened. And so if Kendrick Green, if we can be doing this in an NFL game, if we can have success with this in an NFL game, Kendrick Green is so back. The stock on him is so back. What is happening down here? I don't know what's happening down here. They kind of get into it down the. Why are they scrumming? Oh yeah, is that Broderick? This is somebody blocking somebody. You know what? Like the George Pickens play. We gotta get the ins and outs of this one. I think that's 7. That might be Broderick. Broderick and Holcomb, maybe? I don't know. They're kind of going after it, though. Get off of him, man. Yeah, I don't know who that is, but shout out to that little interaction. And also, shout out to Kendrick Green. I have some memes or whatever to show in a second, but shout out to Kendrick Green, man. That's really all I have to say. Like, if this dude is our fullback and it works, like, tremendous from Kendrick to accept it and to stay in it and keep playing, because he could have easily, after year one, after we benched him and switched his position, he could have easily been like, fuck this, I'm out, I retire. Like, I'm already a millionaire, I retire. He could have did that. He could have kept sulking. He could have been like, I'm not a fullback, I'm not playing fullback. He does that, though. He's also not an NFL player on a team anymore, likely. But it is what it is. He stays the course, and fuck it. Kendrick Green is our fullback. And if Kendrick Green's not your fullback, you're not going to the Super Bowl, buddy. I hate to say it. There can only be one Kendrick Green fullback, and we have him. Laying the freaking wood down. Like, one more time for this play. We'll get the sound in there, too. This is just tremendous. Like, this was, to me, the best thing I saw all week. This is the best thing I saw all week. And we had the Georgepickens catch. But you love to see it. And the crowd, everybody loved to see it, too. Presley Harvin's even like, Presley Harvin is huge. Shout out to Presley Harvin, our punter. And I think that's Christian Kuntz, our long snapper, maybe. At one point, Christian Kuntz was our long snapper. That might not be him. Or a kicker. I don't know. The special teams is crazy. But shout out to them watching. Shout out to this play. Shout out to the after the play developments. Oh, my God. Who is that? Who just got kicked? Bro, that was almost is that Deontay? That can't be Deontay. But you can see they're kind of thrown into each other. And he got hit in maybe almost the knee. Can't happen. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever these two people are, can't happen. If that's Deontay Johnson, that's 16. That's not Deontay Johnson, but can't happen regardless, guys. Let's keep the players safe. But anyway, this man will make teams reconsider giving running backs that mega contract they feel they deserve. Look at Tomlin looking on Kendrick Green, because he has taken some like fullback dive or running back snaps. He has taken some of those snaps too. It's not just the blocking. And like I've said, the guy's athletic. And if we're in a 1 to 2 yard situation, let's just fucking give it to Kendrick Green. That's what I've been thinking. It's not what I've been thinking, but I mean, definitely an idea. And the Steelers, they're executing on it. So be aware of this, guys. The Steelers, we're cooking Kendrick Green at fullback. So if in the season you see like number 53, like some 300-pound, like fucking not a running back, but lining up in a running back spot. Like if you see that, don't be surprised because Kendrick Green is out here. Kendrick Green is making the team, ladies and gentlemen. Kendrick Green is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Now what I wanted to get into is something that's definitely away from camp, something not on the training camp, highlights or whatever, but interesting story. So if you guys don't know, the NFL does a top 100 list, yearly. Where I think it's players and personnel, coaches and media. Everybody votes on like the top 100 players in the league, right? And a lot of the times it's pretty wrong. I shouldn't say pretty wrong, but a lot of the times it's opinion based and all this. So I don't want to get necessarily super into the actual rankings of it all. But Minkah Fitzpatrick comes in at number 18 and is the highest safety in the ratings. Not the highest safety rated in Madden, however, but it is what it is. But number 18, highest rated safety in the NFL, objectively from the peers. So that's a gunshot right there for Minkah. Shout out to Minkah. And I don't have it up, but if you look on the little topic thing, TJ Watt is ranked 27th. So imagine this same graphic, but TJ Watt 27. 27 for TJ Watt is literally a travesty. 27 for TJ Watt is the worst thing to ever happen to humanity, right? We know that. So that's objectively wrong, but we know TJ had some injuries, and that's really it. TJ was hurt last year. That is the only reason for him being 27 when really he should be a top, 10 player? But it is what it is, right? And so I don't want to get too hung up on that, but what I do want to get hung up on is the fact that Minkah rated higher than TJ, granted in an injury season. But in general, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of that? Minkah over TJ, just in general. If I say it out loud, I'll let you guys think for a second. Minkah better than TJ. Just, now that you've thought about it, and now that you're calling me just an idiot and dumb and all this because Minkah isn't better than TJ, which I agree with. TJ's peak is just, it's insane what TJ can do. So I agree with that. But what I don't agree with is it being so far-fetched. What I don't agree with is us having TJ Watt, and he misses games and we're 0-7, and that means TJ Watt is the greatest player on our team, which he is. But I just think Minkah had made so many huge plays for us, and I think Minkah is such an important player to our team that we need to, if he has to be ranked 18 over TJ for Steelers fans to really, really wake up, then it is what it is. Because I know we all love Minkah, and I know we all know how important Minkah is, and I know we're all the biggest fans of Minkah. But like the Georgepickens thing, where I was saying, like, Georgepickens, is he special? Like, guys, no. Like, Minkah is a very special player for us. And I have some plays from just this last season, to prove it. I don't think I'm going to use the audio here for this one, because this is definitely going to get copyrighted. But we can see in this game, we're 3-7. Jesus. And the Indianapolis Colts, the Matt Ryan-led Indianapolis Colts, are driving on us. We got a 3rd and 6 with 2 minutes left. And really, look at Minkah is flying into this play. This is a first down. I hate to say it to you, but like, if anybody else but Minkah is in on this play, this is a first down. Imagine ignoring. All right, right here we'll play it. Ignoring we have Minkah on the team. He is throwing it to number 11. Number 11 is open as fuck. I believe this is Michael Pittman, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong, but number 11 is open as hell. And the first down is right there. The first down marker is right there. But ladies and gentlemen, we have Minkah Fitzpatrick. That is a 4th down. That is a 3rd down stop on a play where it was really looking like that could have been a first. There's a flag here. I wanted to relay. That is Michael Pittman, by the way. Oh, this is 2nd and 6. This is the play before. What happened to the play before? Oh, damn. Okay, so they got that. And then on the next play, they're driving. You can see, once again, 2 minutes left in the game, 4th quarter. They're driving on us. And they could easily pick this up, but Minkah coming flying in, right? So shout out to Minkah. There's that play. And then, of course, we got the week 1 play from last year. We all know what we all remember this play, right? But Cincinnati, they tie the game with 2 minutes left, or 2 seconds left in the game. They're going for the win. TJ Watt just got hurt and is now out for 6 weeks, but we don't know that yet. We just know TJ Watt just got hurt. And here we go. The Bengals, they're lining up for the kick. And Minkah Fitzpatrick on fucking special teams. Makes the block. Blocks the kick. Keeps the game tied. And ladies and gentlemen, we win this game. Chase Claypool's on the team. We win this game. And are you kidding me? We should not have won this game. We based on this play. The plays before and how we looked in week 1, we should have won this game. We deserve to win this game. But right here in general, 2 seconds left, extra point, kick on the way. Like, we lose this game 999 times out of 1,000. We lose this game. But Minkah Fitzpatrick, bro, just absolutely clutch, right? And so there's that play. That's from last year. And then here we go with this play against the Falcons. We're 4-7. This is the next week. The next week against the Colts, 19-16. Their last play of the game, or their last play of the game, but their last drive of the game, essentially. Marcus Mariota makes the play to Minkah Fitzpatrick. That is a pick 6. Well, should have been a pick 6 that ends the game. Right there, bat out of hell, right here. Just absolutely astounding play out of Minkah, right? Cool. And then next, we got the game against the Jets, and we can see 10-6, 3rd quarter. Kenny Pickett ended up coming into this game, and we ended up losing this game. But you can see 10-6, 3rd and 6. They're driving. This guy, he just drops the ball, which, I mean, on his part, that's whatever. But Minkah makes him pay. Minkah, that's an interception. This happens all the fucking time, guys. And I know you guys know. I know you guys know how good Minkah is. But I need you to reevaluate and whatever you have him, rate him higher. Rate him higher because he is worth it. 2022 was this dude's best season, and this is on a career that we remember in 2019 when we traded for him. This dude was getting a pick 6 every game. Like, we remember that. But I genuinely think 2022 last season was his best year. He was making play after play after play for us. So there's that. And a lot of these just aren't normal interceptions. Granted, the Falcons one ended the game when we were winning, and the Colts one we were winning, but they were driving, but it ended the game, right? This is in the middle of the game where the Jets are driving. It's 10-6, not the most insane thing to come back from, but we made a quarterback switch in this game. Like, on offense, we were not playing good. We were not doing well on offense. We ended up switching our quarterback, and so to give you that context, and then to give you the context of their driving, and really this is a huge drop. and he shouldn't have dropped this. Maybe a little better of a pass from Zach Wilson, but he shouldn't have dropped this. But the fact that Minkah makes him pay, like, we have a lot of players on the team that don't make the other team pay. And they'll probably kick this, but in a different situation, you have to make teams pay for mistakes like this, and Minkah made them pay. And we've seen tons of situations where we don't make them pay and it ends up biting us. This probably wouldn't have been that, but it is what it is. So pick 6 out of Minkah there, right? Cool play. And then we got another play from Minkah. This right here against the Ravens, I believe this is after the Kenny Pickett touchdown. Maybe. Minkah again. Freaking Levi Wallace tries to take it. Minkah again with the interception to end the freaking game. Tyler Huntley, it's over, buddy. You lost. You lost to Minkah Fitzpatrick. This is once again to end the game. They are driving. They're not going very far though. Really, this is one of those kind of like the Falcons where it was kind of over. But we've seen our defense tweak. We have seen our defense really let up some BS Mickey Mouse points every now and then. And so for Minkah to seal the game, and he seals the games all the time, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Make them pay for mistakes. That is the biggest thing. Make them pay for mistakes. And Minkah, 99% of the time, will make the team pay for the mistake every single time, which is huge. And then lastly, this is what is it? Okay, this is the last video I have. This is the highlights of the whole 2022, right? And I'm not going to play this. And the fact that I have it paused on the Eagles game is hilarious because Minkah did not have a very good Eagles game. But I did have it paused here because I wanted to show this off. This is in the second Bengals game where we ended up losing. But right here, 3rd and 8. This is 3rd and 8. Joe Burrow lines it up. Minkah in coverage. Makes good defense, right? That's on a 3rd down, right? Good defense out of Minkah, right? And then on another 3rd down, another 3rd and 6. Minkah making the tackle there. Like, this guy, he does so much for us. And I don't know how much of this I'm going to let play out. I don't think I'm going to let the whole thing play out. But, this just happens all the time. Here we have the Colts game again. Minkah causing the disruption in the pass. Like, this dude, he's just great. I don't know what to say. And then there's the play I showed earlier. He's just a bat out of hell. Like, it is what it is. And then in the same Colts game with 24 seconds left, Minkah coming in and making that deflection. Like, these are live reaction highlights. Like, this guy, this is a 10-minute video on just last season alone. This is just last season alone. And oh my God, look at the I don't even know what to call it, but like the hat marks on Mike Tomlin. that's great. Miles Jack in the back too. Shout out to him. But yeah, this is a 10-minute video. I'm not gonna get into the whole thing. But I want everyone to be aware. I want everyone to be aware, and I want everyone to come back to the Minkah love. And I can't find the screenshot again. I want everyone to come back, and I want everyone to realize that Minkah Fitzpatrick is 1B to TJ's 1A. That's it. When we're suffering from success. And this season, when TJ plays a full season and TJ gets back rated higher to where he actually should be, we're going to have 2 top 20 defenders and shit, maybe should be top 15, top 10. We're going to have 2 of them next year. And Alex Highsmith, he's rising. We could have 3 top 50 players in the NFL next year on defense. Count Cameron Hayward, that's 4 on defense, top 50. We could have that. I don't know where Cameron Hayward got rated. When you count the offense too, that makes it super Mickey. But if we just do defense alone, we have so many great defenders. And Minkah and TJ as the duo themselves, this is an all-time duo. And it's not because TJ is the only guy, and it's not because TJ is leading the charge and we just all go as follows. Granted, TJ is, very good and probably the better player and probably our best player, right? But Minkah he's right there too. And I wanted to bring up this point of we had TJ Watt in 2016-17. We had TJ Watt when we faced the Jaguars, went 13-3 and lost in those playoff games, right? And our defense was fucking horrible. We had that. And TJ Watt played on that defense, that same defense, right? TJ Watt played on, okay? And then the following year, 2018, we know that season is insane in itself, but our defense wasn't the best that year. Le'Veon leaves, AB does his thing, it's whatever. We know our defense wasn't the best that year, but TJ was on the team that year as well. So that's 2 seasons in a row. TJ was on the team, great defender, but our defense stinks, okay? Right. And then in 2020, Ben gets hurt. Our offense completely falls off a cliff. But then we trade for Minkah. And at the same time we trade for Minkah, our defense goes from the worst defense and the worst part of our team to the best part of our team instantly. The first week, Minkah's first game with the team, this dude had, I want to say, 2 interceptions. And a pick six. Like, one of them was a pick six. If not, the next week he had another interception. We're talking about back-to-back games. First 2 games has the interception. We're talking about a player 1 to 2 years into his career and asking for a trade and getting the trade and getting traded for a first-round pick. Like, I've said this before, but do you guys understand how crazy that is and how the NFL works for players and for things that happen? We've seen Aaron Rodgers struggle to get traded. We've seen great players struggle to get traded. We've seen players with legacies, and we've seen players with career accolades be able, like, hard to get traded because, like, teams just don't want to grant those wishes. Teams don't want to grant those wishes, and other teams don't want to spend that much to get the wish, you know? Minkah Fitzpatrick, damn near a rookie, damn near fucking a teenager, is telling a professional football team, yo, the Dolphins, you guys are horrible. And granted, now, you know, Minkah, maybe he should have stayed the course, but he's a Steeler, so shout out. But now, or he tells the Dolphins, yo, you guys are fucking horrible. I'm out of here. Peace. And he gets traded, and we trade a first-round pick for him. That, to me, is crazy. And maybe it didn't go exactly like that. Maybe the Dolphins were just trying to blow it up. I don't know. But just the idea of it all is crazy. We've seen, like, if you guys have watched the NFL, players ask for trades all the time, and it can't happen. We're not trading you, buddy. We're not doing it, buddy. Or the other team isn't going to trade enough to make us comfortable with trading you. You know, you can be all mad, but, you know, we're not just going to let go of you for nothing, right? That happens all the time. And Minkah, no. The Steelers, first-round pick, send it. Fuck it. Who cares? We're a team who does, and this is the Colbert regime. This isn't even the Omar Khan new, we'll just go get player X to fill in player X spot. Like, this is before we started being proactive about this shit. Minkah was so good that the Kevin Colbert regime said fuck it and send the first-round pick. On a team that just lost Big Ben Roethlisberger for the season, meaning that we're likely going to plummet. We are likely going to have a bad, or at least not as good of a pick because we just lost our starting quarterback. I know we're the Steelers, and I know we have pride, and I know it's never say die, but for any other team in the league, you lose your starting quarterback for the year, and your starting quarterback is someone like Big Ben who is established, who is, just a guy in the league. You lose him for the year, you're going to suck. And so to lose him for a year and then at the same time be like, yo, we're going to trade our first round pick for this Minkah guy, insane. But that to me should tell you guys how good Minkah is. And this is before he's done anything on the Steelers. This is before he made splash play after splash play after splash play after splash play after splash play. This is before all of that. And so, overall point, bringing it all the way back, Derwin James. No, you are not better than Minkah Fitzpatrick. Chargers fans, we have the best safety in the NFL. Minkah Fitzpatrick is the best safety in the NFL rated by his peers. Minkah Fitzpatrick could be. We will see how TJ bounces back. We will see if TJ is playing with that fire. But Minkah Fitzpatrick could be the best player on our defense. I'll leave it at that. Now, I'm going to finish it out with, of course, the Twitter likes. I don't want to add an existing profile. I want to go to my profile, and I want to go to the like. Shout out to Avatar Cornerback. Oh, Corey Trice. Corey Trice is 27, Isaiah. Corey Trice is hurt. We'll bring it up in a second, but Corey Trice is hurt. I want to make sure I don't forget about that because that is something that is going to be huge. But, it's in the Twitter, so we'll just kind of go through this in order. Here's a Deontay Johnson catch as they play the audio for me, and I don't want to hear the audio. Here's a Deontay Johnson catch. Kenny the DJ, big connection here. I think this is going to really develop this year as Deontay makes a monster catch right here. This is insane. Able to toe tap. Excellent ball placement, too, by Kenny. Able to toe tap that. That's in. We'll play it. That's in. Shout out to Deontay. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I've been saying this. He's going to get the touchdowns back. Then here's another Deontay catch, it seems. Please hike the ball. Thank you. Is going to find Deontay. Kenny rolling out, surveying the field. Hits Deontay in the middle of the field. See, that's a big thing, too, the middle of the field. And not just sideline to sideline like we've been doing. We've been sideline demons the past couple of seasons. But it's the middle of the field. It's good to see these routes. It's good to see these plays. And then there it is. The bond these two guys are making as a wide receiver duo, something you love to see. After every play, they sprint to celebrate for one another, and I can't get enough of it. Shout out to Baku for laying out this tweet, and Baku for all the training camp footage. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Matthew Lucio. Shout out to Alex Coreza, Blitzberg. Shout out to all these guys. But yeah, I talked about this earlier. Deontay and Georgepickens could be a pretty special duo, man. I don't know. I'm pretty into it. And you know, this is going back to when we had like AB and like Marcus Wheaton and Martavis Bryant, and then we had like Hines Ward and Mike Wallace at one point. We had AB and Juju and Claypool. Like, is Deontay and Georgepickens, are they going to be that? Hey, man, could be something. And once again, I like seeing the camaraderie. I've said this a bunch on this episode. Here we got another Georgepickens catch right there in the middle of the field. I believe that's Cole Holcomb in coverage. Shout out to Cole Holcomb. We talked about this Kendrick Green meme. Shout out to Kendrick Green. And then here we go. We got another Allen Robinson catch. This one in the back of the end zone. As I was saying, like in the red zone, I think this guy is going to be a pretty big target for us. Not only because he is just actually tall in general, but because in quick space and short space, he can make the moves. He can make the adjustments. Minkah in the back there. Is Minkah? Wait, who's covering him? Who is covering Allen Robinson right now? Why is Minkah just in the back over there? Is Minkah back there? Does he take off his helmet? Oh, no. Okay, Minkah is just kind of standing back there. He's kind of just watching. Okay. Minkah, if you guys don't know, he also like just kind of reported to camp. He's been excused, but Minkah is back in camp, so that's good. But yeah, shout out to Allen Robinson for that catch. I talked about this too. Shout out to Baku for this video. There's the receivers just kind of dancing around. This is what I'm talking about with this like position group kind of camaraderie. Like it's just cool to see, especially like we got Deontay and Georgepickens. They're doing their thing. It's gonna be special. It's gonna be a special year, I think, for the Steelers, man. And then here we go. Huge chunk of yards from Mitch. I don't know if we saw this yet, but I am gonna go ahead and play it. Mitchell Trubisky, absolute strike to Georgepickens with James Pierre there on coverage. This is again another play where Georgepickens coming to the other side of the field as well. It's good. It's great to see that. You love to see that. Love to see the route tree development. Shout out. We saw this Kendrick Green hit one more time though, just cause for Kendrick Green. Let me get the gunshots one more time for Kendrick Green, laying the wood by Kendrick Green. Shout out. So shout out. And we saw this meme. We saw T.J. Watt and Minkah 18 and 27. Oh, Israel Abanikanda touchdown. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We got to get to some Pittsburgh Panthers news. If you guys don't know, Israel Abanikanda, Pittsburgh Panther. He went to college at Pitt, and he was picked up by the Jets, and he scored a touchdown in his first preseason game. This is the first touchdown, I believe, of the season, because these might be 2 field goals. Israel Abanikanda. Shout out to Izzy to the hizzy. It's cool to see him on the Jets. I wish we would have picked him. But yeah, Jets, you guys got a good player in Israel Abanikanda. He was solid for us at Pitt, especially his last season at Pitt. He had like a 6 touchdown game. Like he's a dog. But you know, shout out. Now, this is I don't have the Corey Trice thing like ready up, but just I swear, guys, Corey Trice is out for the season. He did get hurt. I do not know the ins and outs of the injury per se. I don't know like the full ins and outs, but I do know he is on the disabled list, right? Or whatever it's called in football. I don't think it's the disabled list in football, but anyway, this is Brendan. If you guys don't know Brendan, he is on Ascent Sports, and yeah, this is his tweet. I saw his tweet. So I'm actually so sick about Corey Trice. I really wanted to see if we got a gem or not. Now we have to wait a whole year plus, and who knows if the injuries are going to mess with his development or not. I just hope he recovers quickly and comes back as strong as ever. Prayer hands emoji. Listen, I reiterate everything Brendan just said, aka Onion Bomb. I reiterate everything he just said. Apparently, Corey Trice getting hurt was kind of the knocks on him coming out of college. That was maybe why he fell so low to us. So that is what it is. And I was saying, I honestly like I don't want to do this, but like I remember saying in a previous podcast episode, literally before he gets hurt, I remember saying like, hey man, maybe we need to kind of calm down on the Corey Trice things. Like I get he's playing in camp, but we shouldn't be trotting Corey Trice out as like A-list defense, and this is why we're gonna be such a good team because we got Corey Trice. Because I wasn't sure, but I was very excited to see it. Just much like everybody else, I was very excited to see how it was actually gonna play out, and if we were able to snag a starting corner in the 7th round. When we've needed a corner for a while, I was excited for that, and I was excited to see him and Joey Porter Jr. Year one avatar cornerbacks, as you know they were dubbed. I was excited to see that, and of course now we know Corey Trice is hurt, and almost like the Calvin Austin situation where we heard a lot of good things about him and he was good in camp, but he's just hurt for the year. We'll see about next year. Because the corner position, like it's a little different than the wide receiver position in like just holding on to people. Like I don't want to say, I'm not saying get rid of Corey Trice now because he's hurt this year. Like I'm not saying that, but I don't think his spot is as solidified as like Calvin Austin's was when he got hurt. Calvin Austin, I believe, was a 4th or 5th round pick. Corey Trice is a 7th round pick. Calvin Austin is a wide receiver. Corey Trice is a cornerback. Like it gets a little, I guess, mixy or whatever. It gets a little dicey. But I really hope Corey Trice is able to stick around. I don't want to keep just playing this play. I really hope Corey Trice is able to stick around. I really hope next season he comes back fully healthy and he doesn't get hurt again. And he can play well, and we can finally see, like Brendan was saying, we can finally see if we got a gem or not. Because I think, maybe we got a gem, but now we won't be able to see it. So shout out to Corey Trice. Hopefully next year is the year. DJ versus Levi Wallace, and it isn't even close. I really hope these replies aren't too insane, but here we got Deontay Johnson and Levi Wallace. This route, that coach is kind of in the way. That kind of looked like a Levi Wallace kind of locked him up here. I don't want to be that guy. Plus, there wasn't really that many, moves per se. But this is, good catch by Deontay, but good way to stay with him, Levi. Shout out to Levi. Let's see this play. Replay. Yeah, I think DJ's just gonna instantly. Like, how does this even count? Like, how does it? I don't know. I don't know how this counts against Levi, but Deontay, he's a great route runner. We know that. But really, this is a one-on-one. You can't really double moves in one-on-one is crazy. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Shout out to Deontay and shout out to Levi Wallace. Here is the Georgepickens catch again. Maybe we end on this catch. Just an absolute snag from Georgepickens, man. Just absolute snag. So shout out to Georgepickens. Here we go. And then lastly, I think these are the last couple things here. Broderick Jones went 4 for 4 on wins in his one. So Broderick Jones, last episode we talked about why Dan Moore is playing over Broderick Jones. Well, this week Broderick Jones has been playing more, and it hasn't really been, all great for Broderick Jones. But he has had some winning moments. So it's good to see that. And Alex Highsmith, like I know we're talking about Broderick Jones, but Alex Highsmith has been really causing a problem for our tackles, and so that could be good. But it's good to see Broderick Jones is starting to win some of these reps. And Eladen Roberts just destroyed one of the new RBs. Goodness gracious, trucked him into the ground. I don't have the video from this, but this is what I was talking about when I was saying Eladen Roberts. I have been seeing him. He's playing well, and same thing with Cole Holcomb and Quan Alexander in our run game. And I've been seeing our linebackers have been laying the wood. That's really the biggest thing. I've been laying the wood. And if we're going to be giving up all these, 10 to 20 yard gashes on defense on the run game, we could at least get some hit sticks in the middle of that. Like Devin Bush, Robert Spillane, Miles Jack. Robert Spillane, maybe the Derrick Henry kind of crunch or whatever, the Derrick Henry meeting. Maybe that counts as a big hit, but I don't know. I feel like the Devin Bush, Robert Spillane, Miles Jack, Vince Williams, like all this regime, it hasn't really been laying the wood down. Like the hit sticks haven't been crazy. Vince Williams, I didn't really mean to include you in that because we know Vince Williams used to hit hard, but you know what I mean. Like it's kind of been falling off. So it would be cool to see Eladen Roberts, Cole Holcomb, Quan Alexander. If at the very least, if we're gonna be stinking in the run department again. At the very least, let's make them pay a little bit. Let's make them feel it every time we hit them. That's it. Is that all? I think that's all I can ask for, right? And then lastly, to end the episode, we are going to look at this George Pickens and Patrick Peterson rep. Let's see what George Pickens does with Patrick Peterson. Let's see if Patrick Peterson locks him up. Please hike the ball. It's always so awkward before the play starts. Please hike the ball. We're all waiting to see the play. George Pickens. Oh yeah, George Pickens is gone. Yeah, he's gone on him. Kind of underthrow. I mean, he goes and gets it. He makes the adjustments needed. I shouldn't say underthrow, just kind of more in the middle. I don't know who the quarterback is. I'm not gonna go too hard on the quarterback. And then Patrick Peterson, like, he gets beat deep, and I don't know. Maybe I should kill him for this, but it's George Pickens and Patrick Peterson's at an advanced age. Hopefully this doesn't happen in the season. In real life, we will have a safety up there as well. Like, this is just a one-on-one. So we will have a safety up there, so it's not going to be just like hopefully, depending on the defense we play. Hopefully it's not just going to be an insta-murk, like Patrick Peterson isn't just, this complete liability right here. But, George Pickens, this is more about George Pickens. I think I'm going to call this something related to George Pickens. But yeah, it's more about just showing off George Pickens' ability, more about showing off why this guy might be the best receiver in the NFL, why he's better than Garrett Wilson, and why George Pickens is going to lead us to our 7th Lombardi. So shout out to Patrick Peterson as well. Shout out to George Pickens. And shout out to all of you guys, because we are now about an hour and 18 minutes into this, and I think that is going to do it for this episode. Definitely a pretty nice episode, I think. Every time I do these, it's always like, I don't want to say... Every time I do these, like, I never have a script. I have the topics, and I have like the tabs laid out already. But I never really have like a set, I'm going to say George Pickens is this because of this and because of this, and I'm going to say this now and I'm going to do that. I never really have that. And so the episode lengths are just kind of how I'm feeling and how I'm able to keep talking. I don't know. But this, like I said, an hour 19 minutes now. I think that is going to do it for me. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, definitely be sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. Check out the other audio platforms and check out the podcast on the other audio platforms. Speaking of that, Apple and Spotify people, I apologize for the delay on the last episode. I'm going to have that episode and this episode come out at the right time. Really, that was about the clips being played and the sound. I'm still a bit shaky on just including quote-unquote copyrighted things onto Apple and onto Spotify. But really, no one, like, I keep trying to figure this out if I can do this, and no one is giving me a direct answer. And so we're going to find this out on the fly. So I'm going to be uploading these on there with the sound, not, just only for the sound, only to fucking copyright. But I'm just going to put it on there. So I do apologize for the delay in that for everybody on those audio platforms. But yeah, like I said, I think that is going to do it for this episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. We are inching closer and closer into the season. And we do have a preseason game coming up pretty soon. I believe our first preseason game is on Thursday or Friday. Depending on life, I don't think I'll be able to watch that. But the next two I will be good for. And so I'm debating on doing some things for that preseason game. Maybe kind of having a live viewing session of it. Obviously I can't put the game on the screen. But I was thinking about maybe going live while the game is happening, and if anybody joins, it is what it is. And we'll just talk about how the game is going, talk about how some of the players are developing, talking about how the plays are actually working, and we'll have more clarity on how we're actually going to look in the season. And so definitely look out for that. But yeah, anyways, this has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you back here Mondays and any other time I upload, because let me include this too. If you made it this far, shout out to you. The season is going to be coming up, and I record these on Sundays. I record these on Sundays and release them Mondays. But I hate my life. As the actual season happens, I accidentally hit my space bar. As the actual season happens, Sundays is when the actual football is being played. And so I may eventually have to make a switch on the dates, but that is for future reference. That is for in the future. Right now, I'm just trying to end this episode, and I'm just so good at the outro thing. And so look out for that. Look out for future videos from this channel. Look out for the next episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. George Pickens is a dog. Joey Porter Jr. is a dog. Kendrick Green is a dog. Minkah's a dog. TJ Watt's a dog. Darnell Washington's a dog. Kenny Pickett's a dog. Zay and the Steelers, dog. Viewers of Zay and the Steelers, dogs.